My 6-year-old granddaughter came to me one day and she asked me, "What is addiction?" I had to think about it for a minute. I had to scale all the big words down and try to figure out exactly what you would tell a 6-year-old about addiction. And then it hit me. I told her to imagine that she was on a swing set, or imagine a swing set. Imagine every day she's seen her peers swinging on the swing, back and forth, and having fun and laughing and enjoying themselves on this swing. But the school has told her, and her parents and everybody else has told her, that swings are bad. You shouldn't get on swings, that you can die from swings. But each day she goes out to the playground and she sees these kids swinging back and forth. So one day she decides she's going to get on the swing and she's going to give it a shot. So she gets comfortable in a little seat, puts her feet down, and starts to push herself, and pretty soon she's flying through the air. Her tummy is tickled, her head feels dizzy and kind of funny feeling. She's enjoying her swing. After it's all done, she gets off the swing, she goes out, she goes back home, she goes and has her dinner, and she enjoys her night. But day after day, she begins to secretly go to the swings and get onto the swings. And one day, when she decides to get off the swings, the swing takes a mind of its own, and it decides it's not going to stop. Not only is it not going to stop, it's going to go really high, and it's going to move really fast. And she looks down on the ground, moving past her, and she realizes if she gets off the swing, she'll probably die or get badly hurt. So night passes, dinner passes, bedtime passes. She has to go to the bathroom several times. But despite anything that happens, she can't seem to get off the swing. And she knows she's stuck there. That's the definition of addiction that I gave a 6-year-old. And I think it's pretty close to what an addiction really is when you think about it. It starts off real fun, everybody's enjoying themselves, and pretty soon all the chemicals in your body changes, and now you're not using for fun, you're using just to feel normal. I had a professor one time sit in front of a room of drug and alcohol counselors, and he asked us all, "What's the definition of addiction?" Everybody was so sure they knew the answer. Everybody's hand shot up, and everybody thought they were going to have the best answer. With every hand that went up, he shook his head no, and he told us no. Finally, he broke the silence, and he told us, "The definition of addiction is anything you need to lie about." I thought that was the most profound definition that I've ever heard about addiction. Anything you need to lie about. You think about all the other addictions out there. There's pornography, there's gambling, there's workaholism, there's shopping, and some even say that hoarding is a form of addiction. But all of those things, when you get into an addictive cycle, you start to lie about it. My name is Linda. I have worked in substance abuse in California for 20 years as a credentialed counselor. I now have a CSAC, which is a credential in North Carolina, and I work as a substance abuse counselor here. Substance abuse counseling is a place where you get a front row seat to the worst of humanity as they come in the door, and you also get to see the miracle of God as they walk out the door. We're going to talk tonight about addiction, recovery, and counseling, and all that other kind of stuff. First, I want to say that I think addiction is an epidemic in our society today. According to Uppers and Downers and All-Arounders, one of the textbooks that I read in one of the addiction classes I took, 10% of the accidents and diseases are alcohol related. 2.25 million people die yearly, and 80,000 of them are Americans. When you think about like alcohol in particular, alcohol is everywhere. You go to a bar, you go to a baseball game. Some people meet up at a bar and they get to know each other over drinks. It's in the convenience store, it's at your local Walmart, it's on the radio, it's on the television. It's everywhere you go. Alcohol is everywhere. And alcohol today is probably one of the most deadly drugs. When people detox from it, they can face delirium tremors. Some can even die. The blood pressures on people that are detoxing are phenomenally high. And in society, too, we have a lot of divorce, we have violence, and we have a lot of crime going on. And again, in the book of Uppers and Downers and All Arounders, they say that 36% are alcohol related. Addiction impacts just about everybody and every client that you're going to work with. You're either going to know somebody that's an addict, suffer with addiction, or you're going to have a family member that's an addict. But addiction, it impacts everybody. Recovery is a little bit different for people. I think of recovery a lot like a tornado. Some of the people that live in Tornado Alley, when they sit in the shelters, they struggle, they're afraid, and some of them are grasping for their life as they hear all this stuff hitting the shelter, and they hear all these noises, and everything is so loud, and they're so sure they're going to die. But once the storm passes and they climb up out of the shelter, what people don't realize is that's where a lot of the work has to begin. They look around, they start to see what they've lost, they start to see all the things it's going to take to recover it, and they start to realize there's things that can't be replaced. In the book of Luke, it talks about three lost things. First, it talks about a lost coin, it talks about lost sheep, and it also talks about a lost son. The coin and the sheep are not celebrated when they're returned, although they're happy, but the lost son is celebrated. Addiction matters, and helping people with addiction matters because God wants us to find the lost people and to bring them back. If I was to offer you $100 bill, would you take it?
Yes.
What if I told you it came out of a trash can? Would you still want it?
Yes.
What if I told you that it was in a prison? Would you still want it?
Yes.
What if it came out of a strip joint? Would you still take it?
Yeah.
Okay, what if the dog threw up on it? Would you still take it?
Yeah.
What if I ripped it in half?
Yeah.
Why would you take it?
Why not? It's $100.
If a $100 bill holds its value, people hold their value as well. Are we not worth more than a $100 bill?
Yes.
Thank you.